Here we are, folks, right at the end of April, in the waning minutes of April for me, with a channel update covering the events, the uploads of the prior month. Finished uploading the rest of Max Gentleman's Sexy Business. I also shared A Date with Death, that romance chat simulator, not quite in the same vein as that lewd business tycoon manager. There was some more F Heroes 2 shared, Wizard's Island campaign. Just a little touch more after the update. There was one last job, a full run of that. I don't regret the experience, and I'm open to playing it again in my life. There's some storytelling engine potential in it, but it's real rough around the edges. Still enjoyable, though, particularly for the price of admission, for me, which was free, and even, to buy it in stores, I do not think it that costly at all. Worth the price. And Chrono Trigger Plus, that mid-ROM hack of an excellent video game, that experience shared in its entirety. I have made mention in prior updates that our pendulum swinging between local and live was entrenched very firmly in live. Next month, in May, it is going to slip from its completely locked live position and going into local. I have a series which will start publishing on the 1st of May. I've only recorded a little bit of it. I don't want to get too far ahead. You can't even see it right now. You need to have any videos in this playlist by the looks of things in order for the playlist to even show up at all. I'd written the playlist to have a secret title with a secret description in case someone could somehow perceive it, but it is there, and it will get crack-a-lackin'. Can't say whether you'll enjoy it. I'm not going to reveal anything more other than that it will be happening. There may be another locally recorded series to unveil itself later in May. That one is more situational dependent, but I can guarantee there will be one starting from the very beginning of May. So the pendulum, which has, the waves have ebbed and flowed over the years. My motivation and my interests have cycled between doing things locally and just publishing them for, one-on-one viewers and then sharing them in a group setting. And since late January, I've been very firmly in live territory. Well, we're bringing it back, at least a little bit. There will still be live footage that is going to be posted onto YouTube. And for that, let's take a look at the Twitch channel. Let's see here. There's going to be some Wrestling Empire when that playthrough eventually reaches a conclusion, likely through my character's death or perhaps even retirement. And when that gets completed, in some form or fashion, this return to Wrestling Empire will be shared as well. It has been, well, MDicky video games are certainly storytelling engines. And if you're willing to deal with the chaos and the wild, absolutely wild antics, you can squeeze quite a bit of fun out of the video game experience. There has also been another F Heroes 2 run of the Descendants campaign. This one's taken some time. I'm one broadcast away from completing it. I anticipate it will get done. And when it is finished, I will share it in its entirety on my YouTube channel. There was also 3 broadcasts devoted to Rogue State Revolution, a reimagining of the original Rogue State, which I have shared extensively on my YouTube channel in local forms as well as live streams containing entire runs. I really do like the game. I 100% of the game. I haven't played it since 2019. Rogue State Revolution's been out for some years. I hesitated on playing it. Finally pulled the trigger thanks to viewers on my Discord server being interested in it when I put it up to a viewer poll. So I played through it. The playthrough is complete, but it's not complete. I didn't reach a win or a fail state. It's like I click the retire button. The billing of the game is live, die, repeat, and in my very first playthrough of the game, ended up in a monotonous, kind of dragging ass situation where the issues I have with the game wouldn't be solved just by increasing the difficulty level. And I've gotten enough queries about Rogue State Revolution and whether I'd play it over the years that I want to preserve my thoughts and experiences with the game, which is why I would transfer the playthrough over to YouTube. There's going to be that. There also has been some broadcasts of Divinity Dragon Commander. There have been 2 broadcasts of it. I don't know if that's going to get saved yet. I couldn't tell you whether we'll get a full playthrough out of that game. It does remain to be seen. It was made by a little tiny baby studio you may have heard about called Larian Studios, released in 2013. Larian was in debt at the time. They partially kickstarted the other game they were working on, Divinity Original Sin, which critically acclaimed, wonderfully delightful. Of course, Larian Studios ended up growing and thriving to the extent where they didn't just release an Original Sin 2, but released a little tiny indie game called Baldur's Gate 3 that you may have heard about in your time. I've done 2 full playthroughs of that game. I do find it outstanding. Yeah, Divinity Dragon Commander, though. It's got some real perks to it, and it's got some flaws, and I don't know yet whether that's going to be reserved. Also, in a don't know stage is Suzerain. There's been a viewer choose your own adventure, which has persisted since I started doing these Discord viewer polls, where viewers select the game I play from a few options. Back in late January, the last broadcast of it was in the middle of the month, and it didn't even win a poll for it. I got second place in the last poll. Sure, I'll throw it in. It's been I made like a decompressed thread on my Discord server. Folks are processing. There's a lot of emotions riding high. We've made a lot of decisions involved in choices and consequences. I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to somehow sustain itself to have enough interest, to have enough broadcasts to get over the finish line. If it does not, I am likely not going to be preserving it on my YouTube channel. Already, the older episodes have faded into dust. Here in the past broadcast section, I do still have them saved on my computer, and the first 3 streams are still saved as highlights. Now, it used to be, for stuff I would not transfer over to my YouTube channel, that you would be able to just come to my Twitch channel where I would almost certainly have it saved, even if I didn't transfer it over to YouTube. However, Twitch has instituted a 100-hour cap on highlights and uploads. They have delayed the full implementation of that cap to May 19th. They put a 1-month extension in place from April 19th to May. But while this is ongoing, if you are over the cap, you cannot make new highlights. And once time expires, everyone who exceeds the timer is going to be auto-trimmed back down to be under the timer. So that happened just after I had made the Pizza Express highlight, which is a series that did not get off the ground. It had 1 stream. Viewers got bored of it. They stopped voting for the option. I booted it off the poll. I got too little support. So that one is gone. I might try to bring it back at some point. It remains to be seen. That video, though, still there, at least until the highlights get purged. Right, so there's that. Suzerain, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't say. I'm not much for, like, pushing the fear of missing out buttons on people, but with my changing attitude, which has slowly shifted over the years in how I feel about preserving things on YouTube, the separation I like to have between the YouTube and Twitch channel, which has been in development for me slowly over several years. I'd say since I moved back to Twitch, or shortly thereafter, from Beam/Mixer, the defunct for several years Beam/Mixer. I like that degree of separation, which is one of the reasons why I also do not broadcast on YouTube. I do like a degree of separation in my pendulum swinging between local and live. That's just one of the reasons. So yeah, Suzerain might be gone, dust in the wind. These Divinity Dragon Commander videos might be gone, dust in the wind. There's already been something that was broadcasted. It was a one-shot of Undead Horde, which won like a loser wildcard thing, because it was so unpopular. But when I put it up against a bunch of unpopular options, for like a this is what could have been, it won. That vanished. I tried out the original Everspace. That's going to vanish. People had their fill of that. So yeah, there's going to be more broadcasts in the upcoming month of May. Whether that translates into other stuff that you are going to see on the YouTube channel, I do not yet know. But I am almost certain that Heroes of Might and Magic 2, another campaign, the Descendants campaign, will be complete and be on my YouTube channel. I am almost certain Wrestling Empire, in some capacity, is going to be put on my YouTube channel. And Rogue State Revolution, the playthrough such as it is, I want to save and preserve that, so it'll get put onto the YouTube channel. Yeah. This acts as another reminder, by the way, that Twitch is, like I've talked about this in the prior two update videos, you can go through plenty of news, not just on my channel, but other channels at this point. I don't want to spend too much time on this update video. I do want to get this published and done before rambling on with it. That highlights are getting whacked. And there is footage of mine that's on here that I've talked about before that I have not transferred over. In some reason or capacity, some bits have been forgotten, others I just didn't want to save on YouTube. I didn't think they'd be a good fit for YouTube. The co-op commentary I would have done, like the audio levels were rough for it because of the partner I had, so on and so forth. It's just gone. You know, there's some collections of things that will be gone. Yeah. Gone. Gone, 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 gone. I have not made a collection of everything that will be gone. These even have descriptions in them from years back. How about that, man? Poor folks who poured lots of time and effort into making this cruddy playlist system work and paying editors to fill out all this kind of stuff. All that effort goes up in smoke. But I digress. Just wanted to cover this and what's happening here on the Twitch service. I know a number of folks have issues viewing on the Twitch player or find Twitch to be like inexcusable in its quality and not just have problems with the Twitch player. You know, whether it's like a desire thing or a functionality thing for your machine, I understand why you would have a pressing interest in seeing things preserved on, say, YouTube, particularly as you are viewing this video on YouTube. Most likely. That's the status on that and what you might see next month from a live perspective and what you can end up seeing on Twitch from a live perspective if you did not know. And the tease of what you're going to be seeing locally, because there will be local recordings coming up in May. If you would like to get notified about Twitch broadcasts, if you would like to participate in the Discord viewer polls that I make open for folks, I'm not regulating them to folks who are only viewers, like live viewers of those streams, but I do keep track of names of who shows up and who doesn't. So in the case of ties, or in the case of some real jank voting, I may step in and interfere. But folks are, willing to come, are able to come in and vote. I don't have restrictions on that. You can vote for multiple choice in the polls. One wins. Those are held on my Discord server. This is the easiest place for me to access that information as a hyperlink, discord.gg/Grimith. I have a vanity link. I used to be a Discord partner. That will spirit you away to my Discord server, and let's get on with that live section. That's where I hold the Discord viewer polls. So, for example, if you're deeply invested in Suzerain's viewer choice, it's got to win. It's got to have more stream time. If you want to see more Divinity Dragon Commander, to get that preserved, it's got to win. It's got to have more stream time. And hopefully I don't get burned out on any of those things as it goes. You want to see more Heroes of Might and Magic 2 campaigns using the F-Heroes 2 recreation engine, then it's got to win. So on and so forth. My broadcasts have been at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Daylight Time. For someone who does not do scheduling, I've been really damn consistent, gravitating towards Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. But sometimes there's other days that have been thrown into the mix. Sometimes there are fewer days, or fewer days in a week thrown into the mix. But I'm liking Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday. This, for example, was a free week for me, whereas this week was not a free week for me. Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday. And that is going to persist, except for this week right here. Once we get into June and July, my schedule is going to become amorphous again. Nebulous times of when I'm ready to go, when I'll play things, whatever I'll play, hit the ground running. But yeah, this is the most consistency I've had for live broadcasting ever in all the years I've been doing this. There have been times where I've taken schedules out for a bit of a spin, but never for this long and never at this exact same start time. 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Daylight Time. Before the daylight flip, EST, Eastern Standard Time. But I broadcasted at any and all hours before over the course of my life, and I imagine I will end up flipping back to that mode in the summertime, if nothing else. So there you go. That's what I'm doing, local and live. 16 and a half minutes right there. That's how to reach the Discord viewer polls and where you can get notifications for when I'm going live. If, like me, I don't have a smartphone, I don't leave Twitch open constantly, so I don't get push notifications from Twitch. You could be like me. To money earning time. Corporate Grimith runs a Patreon as well as a coffee, where dumb fools, perhaps such as yourself, can set money on fire for me to help cover various expenses, such as Twitch Turbo. I got Twitch Turbo. I'm paying Twitch so that my past broadcasts last for 2 months instead of 14 days. There's a couple of nice other perks with Twitch Turbo, but this is the reason I'm actually paying for it. Since the highlight system has gone to hell, allow folks an opportunity to catch this stuff for way longer than 14 days. If I didn't have Twitch Turbo, I'd have to be a Twitch partner in order for these past broadcasts, the raw footage, to be saved here for 2 months. And archived, like I noted, 100-hour cap on that. Yeah, so money has been poured in that. It's not much. One Kitschy Trinket postcard covers that cost. And another basically covers the stamps, and then a third covers the postcards. Well, third and a fourth. Regardless, pays for treats like that, and treats for me, like ice cream. There you go. Plenty of fools set money on fire. We're going to give you folks your damn shout-outs regardless of the service you use. For Patreon, it's going to be Applejack, Vic is a Bad Shot, Zachary McKinley, Tiny Shopkeeper, Pork and Beans, Necro Lotu, Chris Van Beers, Abhorson, Putero, Nexus Nemesis, Zier, Shaman, Crazy MLC, Alexi Zalo, Trash Panda 420, Dan, Just Dan, RM Lightning, Brandon Schneider, Augusto de Oliveira, Eric Adams, Eroding Sun, Azor Rain, Alowin 1980, and The King of Worms. For coffee, it's iBeat, Green Doom Guy, Kalen, Dark Blue One, Tangled String, Kyrie and Nancy, and Mega Flame 999. I will say that coffee, it is harder organization. It's not as convenient and comfy as how Patreon handles its billing and its listings. I do like the information printouts better. Folks aren't charged at the first of the month on coffee. They're charged when you start it. And so it's harder for me to keep up with when is this particular month for them? When do I stop sending them a postcard? When do I start giving them an update video insult? That's more aggravating. But an alternative way of giving me money, which one I get more money from, it depends on the amount. Patreon is better for my pocketbook for smaller amounts of money due to how fees work. Coffee, is going to do better for larger amounts, but whatever you're more comfortable with, and considering the changes that Patreon is going to be making to a subscription billing model that's going to be forced later this year, that's why I diversified into offering another option. Of course, if you dislike either of these but are open to PayPal, I have a PayPal link on my About. And I've had this for a long time since viewers strong-armed me into doing this a long, long time ago. No fucking joke. 2011, I got guilt-tripped, like fucking manipulated. Like, here you go, buddy. Like, oh, God. It's the kind of ego, like, rubbing the inner thigh of my brain that just, like, allows corporate Grimith to flourish. Don't do that. Yeah, you could very well do stuff through that. Those are the avenues for sending me money if you so desire. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Anyway, this update video went a long time. I kept it like to stuff that mattered, mostly. As for how I'm doing, I'm well enough to do all this broadcasting and live recording. I've had moments of great personal joy. This past month, happiness, which is rare for me, where I'd say, yes, this is happy. I've also had some pretty swingy days and some dark days too. It's been a roller coaster for me physically and mentally. Yet I remain alive and capable of getting on with it. And thus, for now, I will continue to do so. Take care, everyone. Perhaps see you in an upcoming local playthrough. Huh? 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 You know you want it.